Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fandom Post Radio Podcast. I am your engineer, Kate, and joining me this week is... I can't see the window that tells me who's here. Wait, here we go. Brandon.
Yo.
And Kestrel.
Hello.
And Mark.
Howdy.
And Kane.
Hey.
And we are here to talk about the spring 2026 anime season. There's a lot of shows. There's never not going to be a lot of shows until, like, everything falls apart.
They need that money. Number must go up. Anime number must go up.
That actually reminds me to put another thing in the news doc that I did not have in. This should be a fun conversation topic.
God.
Uh-oh.
Only a little ominous there.
This bodes well.
That's incredibly anonymous. I'm terrified.
Before we get into news, I wanted to tell Kestrel that my brother and I have finally started the greatest anime of all time. And that is The Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
How are you watching it?
That's a don't ask, don't tell kind of thing.
So, my brother...
Not everyone has the super legendary collector's edition, Kestrel.
You know, I should have bought like 10 of them because I just saw one that actually sold on eBay for $3,500.
Jesus Christ.
How much did it cost when it first
$800.
came out? Oh, okay, yeah.
So my brother asked me if it was a good show, and I said yes, and I said why, and he went, I may have acquired it, and then that's it.
You didn't ask any questions.
All he had to say.
No, I'm not asking anything. But in terms of like the how, we're doing watching the two like prequel / start movies, and then just watching the show from episode 3 onward, which apparently is the widely accepted order to do so.
Yeah, whatever.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sick, but I figured I'd tell you that because I was like, I've been putting it off for a very, very long time, and then he was just like, let's watch an anime. We haven't watched an anime together for a long time. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just do this old space opera / political simulator.
110 episode OVA. You've been putting it off for longer than you've been alive, in fact.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Another compatriot on the Yanwen Lee train. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is a little bit funny how incredibly Nazi-like the Empire and like the Imperial forces are. Even Emily was like, so everyone is just German on this side, aren't they? Like, yeah, they are.
They love that shit.
Oh,
yeah, they love that shit, and everyone's like blonde hair, blue-eyed Aryan, and has 6 surnames. Like, oof. Yeah, we're Team Yang Wen Lee over here, so.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that was just what I wanted to get in before we went to the news, so I didn't miss my opportunity to say anything while we were doing the actual episode.
You've made Father proud.
It's all I ever wanted.
Is that our segue to talk about news?
I guess so.
Yeah, start with the
segue, but
start with the apparently bad sounding news.
Oh, I put it in chronological order, but we can start with that one for a segue. I mean, obviously, the first piece of news is the good news that Kane has finally started Legend of the Galactic Heroes after 38 years.
Yep.
But first piece of news that we're going to just segue into here is Toho has announced a shift to its anime mass production phase, and they are aiming to reach a quota of 30 seasons per year by 2032.
I didn't even look at that news when I made that statement earlier about how much anime it was.
That reeks of AI.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, it's sloppening time.
The sloppening is here.
Oh no.
That sounds awful. What'd you say, 30 seasons per year?
Yeah.
Do you have any like ballpark of what they do right now? Or really, like, what's even the most prolific like producer right now? Is that somewhere close, or is this just completely out of left field?
haven't really done the research. I would guess Toho is getting up there. Aniplex is probably kind of the golden evergreen top producer. But that's, 7 to 8 per season, which seems a bit high.
There's not enough viewers to go around for all this stuff. They're gonna have the problem that the video game industry has, where there's too many things and not enough eyeballs.
Eyeballs on anime right now.
Yeah, but I feel that much. That's awfully high.
No, you flood the market, and it's kind of the Disney Marvel approach, right? You just flood the market, and all you need is one thing to hit.
Yeah, you flood the market until the market crashes.
Yeah, we worry about that when the market crashes.
Ugh.
Like, as long as we're ahead.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said Disney. Because I was gonna say Roger Stone, but totally, similar things.
Sure.
Flood the zone with shit, and then just see what floats to the top.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
And you can spend, $300 million on everything, but if one thing makes $3 billion, then you've made your money back.
Kestra, was it at all outlined how they would accomplish this, or is it just all assumed AI apocalypse?
I'm sure it's AI.
I mean, yeah, I think that is the assumption. I don't think they've talked much about it. Just investor speak. Let's see, full-blown mass production phase. By February 2029, company expects to reach a quota of about 20 anime seasons released per year.
Okay, 2029, all of the investment into these data centers will have crashed, I hope, by then. So we'll see.
Yeah. We seem to be inching closer and closer to that day by day. I can only hope.
Yeah. Optimistic thinking.
Are they also just going to be making original stories too? Because we already get so much anime right now that there's still obviously like stuff out there that need quote unquote needs an adaptation. But we get some pretty shitty anime right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They could probably call it original in like big quotation marks.
Right, yeah.
But it's not pulling from original,
As original as any isekai in the past 10 years.
Yeah, that's true. I say just do an isekai. You don't even need AI for the story. Just go like isekai, fill in the blanks and then go from there.
Yeah, just Mad Lib it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. They haven't gone into any specifics around that. But yeah, I would guess that it's still going to be primarily adaptations and a few originals sprinkled in, probably, because that's kind of how the anime industry has been for the past, 25 years.
Yay!
Boy, oh boy. I can't wait for the flood of memes based off of animes coming in, and dudes have 8 fingers on one hand and their other hand is just like a hot dog in frames and things, and everyone is just going to be like, well, what are you going to do?
All going to be still.
These anime characters look strangely like Charlie Kirk.
Oh no! They're all going to be, still shot, or quick cut, because everything that is made with AI, they can't maintain for more than 5 seconds a shot at 5 seconds at a time, because it'll just start falling apart. So
that's the thing. It's all like investor pitch amount of time. You can show them a 3-second clip and they're like, impressive. And it's like, wait, we have to do a 24-minute episode? Yeah, it's the sloppening is upon us.
Is it weird that I almost hope it's AI, because I'd rather have AI failures than incredibly underpaid animators being forced to do 30 seasons a year?
Yeah. Either it's AI slop or a bunch of people just die from working.
Yeah, this is very rock in a hard place type situation.
Are they dying from overworking for my enjoyment?
Yes. Depending on how bad your taste is, potentially.
You guys know the things I watch.
Mark's the problem.
I will say that I'm watching 15 shows, Mark is watching 7, and we have 0 overlap.
Oh,
I actually don't think I have overlap with anybody
anyone.
on
Nope.
anything.
Yeah,
Zero overlap with anyone. Yep.
this is gonna be an interesting night.
a long night.
We're all gonna give our own little like AI pitch. It's like, all right, if this anime put it in this algorithm, this is what it was.
Like, I'm pretty
is
sure I
impressive.
watched 2 shows that nobody else, like, and not even seriously, I just wanted to check them out.
Yeah.
I don't think they're on anybody else's lists either. So,
Which, I mean, usually your role is to watch the things that no one else is watching. So.
yeah, but, like, I feel like even, man, how much shit is there out there?
A lot of shit.
A
Apparently
lot.
not enough. Toho
Yeah,
thinks
not
not
enough.
enough. Yeah. Okay, great. And you know what? They're not going to be the only one doing this.
Of course
So,
not. No.
so we're in for some crazy times. We're gonna be here in 2029, and Kester's gonna have 45 shows on his block.
No, I'm retired. I swear I'm retired.
It's going to be 45 shows, and 7 of them are AI generated One Piece spin-offs.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. But if they're canonically connected, then I have no choice.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't resist because they
That's how
actually
Marvel got me.
Wit Studio did get caught doing some AI in
That's true.
I think Slime OP or something. So everyone's now like,
it
oh,
was the Ascendance of a Bookworm. Okay.
oh, Bookworm, yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone's like,
I'm gonna drag
oh,
my
this one,
slime into this.
the One Piece is gonna be the slop piece.
Well, it's funny
The
because
slop.
I didn't put that in my news, but yeah,
Oh.
they got called out for it. People were like, "Hey, these backgrounds look AI," and they're like, "Yeah, they are."
Well, yeah.
But in their statement, they're like, "Yeah, it's because we outsourced to someone who outsourced to someone who outsourced to someone. We at Wit Studio would never use AR in our productions." Asterisk, footnote, except for that one Wit Studio production, which was explicitly made for the purposes of creating it with AI. That was an exception,
Oh man,
God.
which did happen.
Ugh.
this might be a hot take, but can we go back to the news articles about like people dying instead? 'Cause, like, those...
No, we decided that AI was better than people dying. This was 5 minutes ago.
Also, Brand, to be fair, this is only the first story on Kestrel's list. There could
yeah.
also
This is the lead
be a
hitter.
death or two. Yeah.
You're right.
I would like to go back to the embezzlement charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like, okay, can creators stop molesting children and go back to tax evasion? Can news stop being about AI slop and go back to being about people dying?
Honestly,
we didn't know how good we had it.
We should make our news segment like we should make like a bingo card for it, and it's like anytime we check off a box of like, oh, embezzlement, oh, some dude looking at kiddie porn, oh, like anything, it's just like every time it hits.
Depressing number of bingos.
Yeah.
The boomer takes from our generation in like 20 or 30 years are going to be crazy. It's like, well, back in my day, our creators just embezzled money and did tax fraud.
That back in the 2010s, people actually made media? Wild.
What?
Amazing.
What do you mean?
All right. I
Right.
swear the rest of the news is actually positive.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I
I don't know about this.
I didn't even put that one on there originally. It was just because Kate was so I don't know, prescient in her comments.
Damn.
She just predicted it.
So now you're blaming her is that's what I'm hearing.
Basically, yeah.
Always
Okay. Bunch of other news. This we were talking about this tangentially before we started recording, but that doesn't work for a segue for anyone but the 5 of us. Which is Steel Ball Run finally gets an announcement of more coming. It will be. They're calling it the next core, as if the first single episode constituted a core. But that's going to be the second stage. And it will begin streaming in fall 2026 on Netflix with 1 episode released each week, as we always intended, they say, as if it was an intentional marketing decision to plan that and never tell anyone after releasing 1 episode on its own.
Bro.
But yeah, that's the plan now, apparently.
Okay. I mean,
So what do we think happened here?
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't have time to actually do stuff to the quality that they wanted to do stuff with. They got 1 episode done and dusted, and they were like, okay, everything else is still like storyboards. We don't have time.
They went to the investor meeting like a year ago, and they were like, all right, we'll have it coming out. When did it come out? March something? Have it coming out in March, weekly episodes, just like everyone wants. And then January, they were like, so it turns out horses are hard.
You know those horses you saw in the first episode? Yeah, those are the only ones we've got.
Yeah. We got 47 minutes for you.
The miscommunication had to be so off if they truly believed from the start they were going to get a full season, and now it's like, no, we're actually going to put one out and then delay for like half the year. I don't know.
Yeah.
David Productions swindling Netflix or something. I don't know what they pulled to get that done.
Yeah, or just Netflix demanded a deadline, and they were like, yep, we'll give you the first core. That core might be one episode.
Yeah.
John Netflix doesn't know what a core is.
True.
Probably
Complete
not.
disrespect for the traditions.
Disrespect for the art form.
I've just figured out what cores versus seasons are after all these years, and then Netflix just casts it aside.
Yeah, well, considering what Netflix thinks anime is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't worry, they can binge it all right. All 45 minutes of it.
Absolutely. Okay, more Netflix news. This all worked a lot better when this was going to be our Netflix One Piece episode, because all of the news I had was Netflix news. Next news is in fact related to Netflix's live-action One Piece. Well, they announced a few things about One Piece, all related to Netflix. One of them, the One Piece is still happening. That's about it. Also, the next season of live action is coming, I think, fall 2027. It's going to be called Battle for Alabasta or something. And the more significant piece of news, I suppose, is that they're going to be releasing a Lego TV special September of this year. So this is One Piece, the manga, the anime, the live-action series, the Lego line, the TV special.
That's
Hell yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry, I did not actually watch anything about the Lego announcement, but it's Lego One Piece based on the live action, right?
Yes, it's based on the Lego line, based on the live action One Piece series, based on the anime One Piece, based on the manga One Piece.
Oh my god! All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and then I was like, man, I do like Legos, but not this much. I thought it was cute, the little preview they had, and at first I thought it was a joke, to be perfectly honest. Like, I thought it was like a concept or a late April Fools or whatever, just because it
an
felt
advertisement for a Lego set.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, basically, but
it just came out of nowhere. That was the thing. I was like, oh, they're just doing a Lego thing? Okay, is it like what is it? And then, as Kestrel said, yeah, it's like based off the live action and all that. So
yeah, they've done a bunch of those, like not just the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie, but there's been like a bunch of Lego Star Wars specials on Disney Plus or whatever. So I don't know. It's probably pretty easy to rig Lego models.
They've got that website where people can make all their own like Lego creations, and then people vote on it, and then Lego just decides if they're gonna make it or not. So yeah,
that's how you get cool shit like the Jaws set.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. It's just it's a testament to what Kestrel was saying. It doesn't take much to like rig them up and get them going. It's like, no, not really.
I like the fact that they were just like, we'll have consumer figure out what sets we should release, and we don't actually have to do anything.
Yeah, tell us what you'll buy.
Absolute genius.
All right. Next piece of Netflix news. Arguably not much news out of this, but Netflix has confirmed that their live-action Gundam film is filming, and the full main cast has been announced. So, like, they don't attach any characters to any of these actors.
No.
And I would guess if we are to assume that the order is based on like billing order, that it's not going to be existing characters, or at least not an existing story, because Sydney Sweeney is the first mentioned.
That just means she's Sayla, bro.
Yeah, it's a Sayla side story.
I mean, it could be. But yeah, so the people they've announced are Sydney Sweeney, Noah Centineo, Jackson White, Shioli Kutsuna, Nonso Nozier, I don't know, Michael Mando, Javon Walton, Alexander Rudinsky, Ida Brooke, Gemma Chua Tran, and Jason Isaacs. Yeah, so I would guess that, the thing that makes the most sense for them to do is just a completely original story. They could set it in the Universal Century if they wanted to, but I don't feel like they have a huge amount of motivation to do so, because they're, primarily targeting a Western audience, and only Japan really cares that much about the Universal Century. Gundam is one of the few franchises in which it is the norm to just create a completely new universe and still have it be part of the franchise. So given the carte blanche that implies, make a robot with a V on its head, have a blonde guy in a mask, maybe say that war is bad. I feel like that's the obvious route to go, is just, yes, cool robot action.
Do you think they're gonna completely forget the war is bad part?
They might forget the war is bad part.
They might be like, war is bad, but it's also kind of cool.
It's kind of cool, though.
I mean, but that's like every Gundam is like, war is bad, but it's also kind of cool.
But also buy our model kits that could be war.
Yeah.
100%, yeah. That is kind of the Tomino Miyazaki dilemma, is war is bad, but goddamn war machinery is awesome.
I can see them doing something similar to like Legendary Godzilla, where it is very much just like based in America. So that's kind of like what I'm expecting anyways. But I'm going to hold my tongue until I see a trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we know how these things go with, the countless live action adaptations that never were. Like Akira has been thrown around for decades. Keanu Reeves was announced as Spike Spiegel 10 years before the Netflix series, etc. So yeah, we'll see if it actually happens. It's Netflix is doing their kind of heavy PR claims that make it seem more substantial, but anything could happen. But as far as it being in America, I mean, again, they have the benefit of generally these stories take place in space primarily. And B, even in, most of the Gundam media that exists out of Japan, it's already kind of Western names-ish. It's very bizarre Star Wars-y names. But
emphasis the ish.
It's not Japanese names for the most part. There are some Japanese names in there as a result of them just being Japanese creators, but there's a lot of not that. So I think they get to get away with making a new story. They get to get away with, obviously, as we saw in the cast, mostly not Japanese cast, which is not surprising, because I think that would fly anyway, because most of the cast is not explicitly Japanese anyway.
Okay, how dumb? But do you think they're gonna go for dumbass Gundam character names that don't make any sense?
They have to.
I hope so.
I hope they're real dumb.
They gotta be. And I think the fact that people are so used to like a major theatrical film coming out called The Mandalorian and Grogu gives them a lot of leeway to kind of just come up with whatever absurd names they need to.
True.
Just hire whoever it is that comes up with all the names for Rocky movies.
Yeah. So we'll see if anything happens.
Okay.
Kane had to step out, which is unfortunate because he is the resident Gundam guy, and I want to see if he had anything to say, but we can circle back. Oh,
yeah, I can pop back in for a second, then I gotta split for another BRB here. But yeah, my main thing was just Jason Isaacs is Bright Noah, and he just slaps everybody over and over again. So this is in the Universal Century.
I feel like
I generally agree with everything that you guys were saying, because I still have my earbuds in, which is essentially this most likely is going to be non-Universal Century, and for the Western audience, it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares all that much for the group that Netflix is trying to find with this. So
yeah, I feel like if Jason Isaacs slapped me, my jaw would break. He looks like a scary motherfucker.
Yeah, and they got to turn up the sound effects whenever he does it, and make sure it does the fa sound effect every time. Yeah, every time.
Yeah, hopefully they use those 1979 sound effects.
Oh, that would I hope so.
Absolutely.
I need the like new type psychic sound effect.
Yep. Okay, and then my last piece of news from today. We talked about Shonen Jump not too long ago, and one of the topics was, hey, that Kagurabachi looks like it could be pretty big, but generally these series only get big when they get anime announcements. And there had been rumors of a Kagurabachi anime for like years at this point.
For so long.
But now it's finally confirmed, April 2027. They put out a little teaser for it. They've got the lead actor cast. Main staff, no one that is necessarily a household name. The studio has done very little, but it might be like Cygame's second anime studio based on the name and association. But yep, what's happening finally.
Yay! I've been so excited for this to finally get announced, but I'm also so scared because it is going to be like the next like big shonen action shonen like I'm just always afraid when these things get the big fandom that they get and all of the the opinions that come with it, but I am excited. I do think it will. I mean, the preview looked nice for what it was, which was short, but
yeah, for the investor-directed 3 seconds of animation.
No, exactly. Yeah, with its like Instagram filter-ass colors, but yeah, it looks great. I'm excited. I'm investing early. I'm calling out Logan Paul. He's got to buy my first edition, first chapter Kagurabachi Shonen Jump that I got in Japan. I'm putting it up for $1 million if he wants it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. That's good content.
I assume no one else did. So.
I can't deny it's good content. But I hate it, and I hate the world we're living in.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about what's happening with manga in that sense. Not newsworthy. Could be its own episode, I suppose, but...
Grifters suck. More news at 8.
No, for real. Sort of adjacent to that, I've been getting really into the One Piece card game recently, and terrible time to be getting into that. It's like worse than Pokemon in terms of the scalping and stuff.
Oh, God.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I got for news.
Yay.
I guess if Kane is still not back, we can either start with one of the things that Mark is watching and no one else is, one of the things that me and Bran are watching, or one of the things that me and Kate are watching that Kane is not.
Fair.
Is Kane watching Witch Hat?
Yes, everyone's watching Witch Hat except Mark, because Mark hates Joy.
Okay, I'm back.
That is truth. Yes, I do in fact hate Joy.
Kane, you're the boss. What are we talking about?
Oh, actually,
sir.
So I know that there's a lot of new shows on this in the season, but I really, really want to know why One Piece is at the bottom of Brand's list and then at the top of Castro's list.
Well, to be fair, I don't know. Maybe we're assessing it differently. But before, when One Piece was like one big continuous thing, it was hard to put it on the rankings because of its, impact and longevity and all that. But now that it's seasonal, and I can just like, rate it for what it is. I've only watched the first 2 episodes of the newest season, and to be honest, very slow, very just like, it's kind of like a silly, it almost feels like a little side adventure until the main Elbaf arc starts. So in my opinion, compared to like some of these like really standout new shows this season, it's not as, enticing or good in my eyes, but Elbaf is an amazing arc and will pick up the pace, but from what I've seen so far, I'm enjoying everything else more.
So, are you saying that in September, when you gave One Piece a ranking, it was based on 1,155 episodes, and now because it took 6 months off, you are basing it on 2?
No, but to be fair, Egghead was popping the hell off back then. So I think it was more well earned, whereas One Piece is still getting its legs. And I did have a bit of an issue with the fact that they were like, okay, we're going to go seasonal. And maybe it was a little too optimistic to think that would mean they would, change how they paced the show at all. But they're like, no, we're still going to do like 1 chapter an episode. So like the first 2 episodes for me were like really a drag. I was trying not to feel like a Zoomer TikTok addled brain of being like, I can't pay attention to this show, but it was just so slow to start this arc, and I was having trouble enjoying it.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I think I probably am not properly evaluating it as quote unquote One Piece season 2, as the memes go.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and there's lots of memes that One Piece had a pretty solid 1,155 episode first season, and now it's finally on season 2. But yeah, it's when they made that announcement, they did say that it would now be 1 chapter per episode, which was an improvement in pacing over what they had to do, because they were at the point where, they were releasing an episode every week, and Oda was not releasing a chapter every week, and so it had to be a fraction of a chapter every episode. So technically an improvement over that, but yes, I agree. It still has me going, I sure can't wait for the One Piece. In theory, unless any of the things that could go wrong. I'm probably not properly just focusing on these few episodes that we've gotten so far, which there've been like 4 maybe at this point, 3 or 4.
Well, that's part of my evaluation too, is I am not all the way caught up, so I'm sure things have picked up a bit, but just off of what I've seen, and also just it is so hard to compare certain pieces of quality, because like I also thought the opening and ending themes animation wise are kind of weak this season compared to, I don't know, the Egghead ones were so good.
Well, the first Egghead one, was exceptional.
The first Egghead one was like amazing. I don't know, this one, I don't know. I'm waiting for One Piece can take some time not in the sun,
For sure.
So that's why I put it where it is.
I feel like there's some sun god joke in there.
I was trying to make a Nika reference, and then I gave up on it very quickly.
Gotcha. But I think
lost at everyone here.
I think of the 4 that have aired of this season, I thought the first one was great. I thought the next 2 were pretty weak, and then the latest one was pretty good. So I guess if the truth is, I just put One Piece at an A on my list every season, and if nothing else deserves an A or higher, then it inevitably becomes number 1 by default. So I should probably start evaluating more of the 12 or 13 episodes, or the 1 to 13 episodes starting at the beginning of this season is what I'm evaluating. I guess I should start doing that more.
It does feel like a orchestral stamp of approval. So It is nice seeing it there every time we record.
It's been a long time. It's been 6 months since it's been on my list. but yeah, it is kind of like, you know, that's the bar, that's the standard of quality. Can anything top One Piece? And, you know, it wasn't airing last season, but certainly I had an A+ on my list then, so it wouldn't have been number one. But yep, I'll take that into consideration.
Yes.
I'll give Bran the win on this one.
It is not at all a dig at your consumption of One Piece. It's just why it's at the bottom of my list for this.
If I were to average the 4 episodes, I don't think it would be at the bottom of my 15, but it would be closer to the middle.
Yeah, I will say you did say the first and latest episodes were good. I do like, because it is far and few between that you get actual Straw Hat time.
Yeah.
So like getting an episode where like Nami and Usopp are like have the majority of screen time for a moment is nice, especially because, you know, Usopp's whole thing was like Elbaf is where he dreamed of going, and it's like, okay, at least they gave him this moment, because to be honest, he really doesn't get much more going forward so far. But
we are once again in the same arc in the manga as we are in the anime. So
yeah, and that is why I think it is hard for them to change how they pace it, because if they did like 2 or 3 chapters per episode, I mean, we'd catch up to the manga very, very quickly.
Which is fine now that they've accepted that going seasonal is a thing. Like, they could just do 1 core a year.
Yeah,
and have it taste great. But I guess if it's already being remade, then why bother?
They want the money, though. They really want the
money. No, I thought the first episode was great. I thought the latest episode was fine. But, you know, opening it with like the cold open, the scenes from Little Garden, especially coming right off of season 2 of the live action. And then transitioning that into the modern day. I thought that was just like, you know, all of the payoff of finally getting to Elbaf. It really drove that home to the longtime fans.
I know it's easy to glaze like Oda foreshadowing, but it is just amazing, and there's no way at all that he is making it work this way. But the fact, like you mentioned, that we just covered the Little Garden in the live action, and then they're getting to Elbaf in the anime. It's just like, oh, the way all this comes together is so cool. But
and I will say also, to the next 2 or 3 episodes being weaker, the Block Kingdom stuff kind of sucked in the manga too. So I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, it was like a weird rug pull where you're like, oh, I'm so excited for Elbaf, and then you're like, wait, what is this? Like, what's happening?
Wait. Not only did we just have Little Garden in the live action series, and now we have Elbaf in the anime, but we just had a Lego One Piece special announced, and now they're in Legoland in the anime.
Okay. Wow. That's insane. Wow. Goda for sure. That's crazy. You know what? Forget what I said. We are going to glaze him. The foreshadowing.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go spend $1 million on a slabbed One Piece Shonen Jump.
Yeah, I'm gonna go spend $500 more on cards.
Anyway, that's One Piece. I'll put it lower next time, probably.
I hope it goes down to 15, and there's no reason why. It's just now it's 15, and now it's back up to 1, and now it's 15.
And I'll have dropped like 5 shows by then, so it'll just be 1 through 10, and then One Piece at 15.
Cool. So another one I wanted, even though I'm not watching it, I actually really want to hear about it, because it's a manga that I've passed on the Shonen Jump app tons of times, and that is Akane Banashi, if that's how you pronounce that appropriately. Which is ironically also the one that Castro and Brain are watching and nobody else is. But I think it's because the art attracted me of the manga, but I never took the time to read it, because I'm just passing it while I'm getting to the thing I actually want to read. But I notice it's almost always on the front page too of the Shonen Jump app. It's like, here it is. Here's that thing that you keep passing. So
is that the Rakugo show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so obtuse to me.
Yeah, it's we talked about it, or I mentioned it briefly in our Shonen Jump episode a while ago, but I personally think that it is one of the strongest manga in Shonen Jump right now. Just in terms of story, and yeah, the art is really nice. It's nothing like mind blowing or anything, but I think the story has been consistent. The character development with Akane has been really engaging the whole time, even if most people don't know what Rakugo is. I think it had a bit of it said weird peaks throughout the last decade or so in anime when a random show will mention it or be about it. But I think it is a very strong contender for top 3 of Shonen Jump right now. So that's why it's
Big 3.
Big 3. I think could be big 3. With Kagurabachi on the way, but no. No, it's a great show. And the other thing that's really nice is it's free to watch on YouTube. They just post full episodes, which is great. But yeah, even I feel like if you have no idea what Rakugo is, it's a really entertaining story. And the first episode is a great introduction to the characters and what her motivation for the whole story is. Yeah, just a really, really fun and interesting and different kind of show than what Shonen Jump is usually going for.
So it's funny. I hear a lot of people saying yeah, it's so great that it's just on YouTube. YouTube is the only streaming platform I've never paid for. If I watch it on a streaming device, it has ads. And so I have to either deal with that, pay them, or just watch on my computer with ad block, which is what I have opted to do thus far. So actually, it's the only show that I'm watching in kind of shit quality for that reason. But that's mostly my fault and Netflix's fault, as always, because it is, in fact, a Netflix acquisition that they will be releasing in May because they are garbage, as always.
Yep. Yeah, that is an unfortunate circumstance of it. I do YouTube Premium's one of the few ones I do pay for, so it has been very easy and nice for me. But
yeah, I watch Justin Sudeikis's The Anime Business once a month, and now Akane Banashi once a week, and that's it on YouTube ever. So, yeah.
Wow.
Then why don't you just accept their 5 minutes of ads every 30 seconds?
Because, no.
Have you ever stopped to consider that perhaps they are just the products and services you're looking for?
They might be. They very well might be. No, YouTube, maybe it's because I never watch YouTube, but the YouTube ads are never as targeted to me as I would think they should be able to be at this point. They're always like, do you have this disease? I'm like, no, I'm not eating.
YouTube's got me on Kickstarters, man. I always get the Kickstarters for cool-looking books, and I'm like, oh, fuck you, YouTube.
Nice. Yeah, I guess the fact that I don't watch anything on YouTube, don't save my watch history, and don't have ads ever, maybe doesn't give them a lot of data to work with.
Yeah, because it should be anime soundtrack vinyls and the newest Oreo variants.
Hey man, I've bought very few Oreo variants. Now, do I buy every new flavor of Ben & Jerry's? Absolutely, but I'm from Vermont, I have no choice.
Yeah, I feel like that's contractually obligated by having lived there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing he retained from Vermont.
Pretty much, yeah. And, I import maple syrup from there by the gallon. Yeah.
By the gallon?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to pay shipping prices for, a quart. So, yeah.
The economics just don't make sense.
Anyway, Akane Banashi. I mean, yes, I will say I'm glad that it is on YouTube instead of just nowhere for a month and a half, like Fragrant Flower was, when Netflix pulled their shit with that. But yeah, I've also heard from, pretty much everyone that it's one of the best Jump manga since it started. And, I read the first 3 chapters of everything that starts in Jump, and I read the first 3 chapters of this, didn't catch me. Then spent the next few years hearing about how it was the greatest thing ever. So I checked it out again. The anime hasn't really caught me yet. We'll see, but haven't dropped it yet. I did absolutely love Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju when that came out. But it's one of those obscure Japanese cultural things that I would only ever find out about through anime, and the fact that I love a show about it does not necessarily mean I care about it on principle at all. It just means that the show did a really good job using it as the instrument by which to convey its character drama. And having it be a performance art helped for the kind of story that Rakugo Shinju was telling. And yeah, now it's a sports shonen, and that's fine. And I like sports shonen. But nothing about it has really grabbed me yet. I'm not in love with any of the characters or storylines quite yet. But shonen series take a little bit to get going, so I'll probably give it a little bit of time.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I feel it's funny because my first enticement to Akane Banashi was definitely that, Rakugo Shinju is easily a top 10 anime for me of all time. So, anything Rakugo adjacent, I was like, I'll give it a try. We'll see if we can hit peak again. But that's a good way of putting it, is that it is very much almost like sports anime formula in the way the story plays out. Like, she, starts from nothing, trains a bunch, and then it's like, oh, she has to work until this, not like a tournament arc or anything, but it's like, oh, there's this performance coming up that she has to prepare for. And so it is structured very similarly to like a battle shonen or like a sports shonen, but I do think it's like a very steady progression. And yeah, it really isn't gonna hook you super enticingly right away. And I also agree, like, a lot of the characters at first aren't super engaging aside from Akane herself, but I do think the development is really good, and the performances over time just like continue to get better and better. So yeah, and especially, I think the manga just hit about chapter 200 ish, and it's in peak form right now. So like, I'm loving reading it. So just like looking forward to that progression up until where we're at. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth a watch, Kane, if you've got the time. Yeah.
I always try to make time for interesting like new shows or other experiences and things like that for manga and stuff. I just thought it was interesting that it kept coming up, and when I like read the little blurb on Shonen Jump, I was like, this doesn't feel like it should be in this magazine, so maybe that's a good thing, like that they have it, or there's like some element that I'm missing from it. It is unique. Jump piece.
It is shonen manga / anime, but it's draped in artsy clothing, so it definitely is on that formula. But it's good.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to give it a shot then, because it sounds interesting enough. I didn't really get into the last show, Showa Raku, as much. I remember watching a little bit of it way back when it aired, and it didn't quite do much for me then. But then again, maybe I'm just smooth-brained and I need a sports shonen angle to it.
Not cultured, got it.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, definite trash over here, man.
Yeah.
No,
Yep. He's a tourist.
I'm a cultural tourist. Yep.
Once again, it's one of those really strange, like, Japanese art things that is just like obtuse and bizarre. It's a really, it's
kind of similar to like Chihaya Furu, where like
exactly
that show is very similarly like very shonen-esque, very sports anime fueled, but they're playing the weirdest fucking game. And you're like, what do you mean they're like smacking cards that are based on 100 different like Japanese poems? And it's the premise of the game is insane, but like the show itself is very compelling. So It's
100%.
similar lane, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the best comparison.
Yeah.
Now, how do
Yeah.
the different storytellers display their power levels?
I mean, kind of.
I need to know if there are transformations.
They honestly might have some like key type aura when they hit their stride. So like you got that to look forward to.
There's some aura by episode 1, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm hoping some of the audience members' clothes explode off at some point. That's kind of the one thing I'm missing.
That's the true mark of excellence.
Yeah, that's my benchmark for
Why is
keep watching.
I have watched 3 episodes of this show and not a single person is naked yet. What is happening? All right. Well, then we can shift on here. I'll add that to the ones because I don't have a ton on my list this season, so maybe that'll be a fun one to add for a change of pace. I mean, I feel like I have good variety, but always looking for something a little extra. So,
by the way, I'll mention to all of the critics of my attempted retirement, 10 of my 15 are sequels, so this is mostly obligation watch. I'm watching only 5 new shows, technically.
I don't know if that really helps your case all that much.
I just dug myself in too deep with some of these.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
Yeah. I feel like the chains have been broken because I like fell behind on ReZero and like just I let it go. You know, if you love it, let it go, Kestrel.
Interesting. I mean, I could probably let some of these near the bottom go, but ReZero is kind of great.
Yeah,
so.
It is. I think it was one of those where it's like it started off with like an hour and a half premiere one season, and I was I'll get to that eventually.
Season, right.
And then I didn't. So
I see. That makes sense. That's probably a lot of people's story, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shows ReZero's airing this season, right? Like that, the 4th season. Yeah, cool. Too bad we aren't talking about it. All right.
Yeah.
So
next show, I think. Talk.
Yeah. I want to hear Mark talk about one of his shows, and I kind of want it to be Mark. Would you rather explain to us Aaron the Southpaw or Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku? Because both of those are very enticing to me as titles.
Well, Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku is...
Before we start this, I would like, we decide on a show that Mark will be talking about. The rest of us first decide what the show is about, and then Mark tells us what it's actually about.
Sure, go for it.
Well, I was thinking Aaron the Southpaw was about a left-handed gaijin boxer in the streets of Tokyo.
Oh no, Aaron the Southpaw is a spin-off from the scene in Attack on Titan where Aaron throws the baseball to Zeke.
It's a whole show based off that.
There we go.
Yeah.
I thought this was just the Ned Flanders isekai anime.
Nice.
Very good guesses.
Girls Can't Be Kind of Otaku. The image in my head is that one of like the Pepe frog that like drops his tray of food and is like looking up at the girls bullying him. That's what I assume that show is.
That's what I was actually. What's funny is I was thinking a very similar vein, and I was like, "It's a humiliation thing, isn't it?"
It is. It has to be. Okay, we've staked our claim.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a ton to say about it, so I'll just say Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku. It's actually not a particularly accurate title because, as a matter of fact, it turns out they can be.
No.
No Pepe.
No Pepe. Sorry to
what? No fucking Pepe.
Sorry to burst your bubble there.
Damn.
It is. Just another entry in admittedly one of my favorite genres, which I call Gyaru plus huge dork. Except that the rub with this one is that there are 2 Gyaru. So
it's too much power.
Is it though?
It feels like Highlander rules. I don't think you can have 2 Gyarus.
I mean, we're only 3 episodes in so far, so you never know. They could have to fight to the death by the end of the season. I don't know. I have
They got
not
another
read the
door.
manga of this one, so now that would be.
Now
maybe.
I'm in.
Now I'm in. Yeah, now I'm in. No, I'm enjoying it well enough, but it treads treads some pretty well trod ground at this point. So, but Aaron the Southpaw, that was one that I kind of jumped on, sort of at the last minute, if that's sort of a thing. Basically, right as the first episode came out. It is not about a boxer. It's not about baseball. It's actually about art. And 3 episodes into that, I'm actually still not 100% sure entirely what I'm going to get from it, which is kind of intriguing. It's the Aaron, who is the Southpaw, is a phenomenal artist, but who is very down on the whole idea of art being sort of a career path, and that comes from her father was somebody who it really encouraged her art when she was young, but he himself was a failed artist, and never managed to achieve his dream, and he died at some point, but at this point we haven't really oh no, we did actually in the last episode. He was isekai'd, so he's probably in another world somewhere. He was hit by Truck Coon. That's what it was.
Classic.
Yeah, so we'll probably find him some other time in another world where he's using his art skills to get ahead, and be God or something. I don't know. So anyway, so she's in this weird place where she's an amazing artist and she feels compelled by art, but she hates it at the same time, and is desperately trying to quote unquote break herself of this curse. And at the same time, there is the guy whose name I'm now blanking on at the moment. He Because nobody knows that she is an artist, and he is generally considered to be the Koichi, that's his name. He is generally considered to be sort of the best artist at his school. He's very arrogant, he's very sure of himself, until one day he comes across some graffiti that she has painted, because she sees an art exhibit at the local art museum and she just gets pissed off at it and graffitis over their advertising there, and he becomes really entranced by it, and he's like, oh my god, this is somebody who's better than I am, and it sort of inspires him. And so they've got this kind of thing going on where he is desperate to do art professionally, whereas she is defeated by it. But she has the talent to do art professionally, whereas he's kind of merely okay. Anybody who really knows art, who sees what he does, are just kind of like, dude, you don't really have it here. And so it was sort of told from the perspective of it started out being told from the perspective of him looking back. We know he's talking from the future where he has gone into art and he's struggling now, and he's looking back and he's like, oh, if I had known then what I knew now, I might have made better choices. And it sort of starts off with them in high school, and kind of him getting inspired by her, and sort of the fight that they have between the two of them. And then the third episode last week, now we're suddenly in the future, which I was not expecting. I guess to the present now, where he is struggling and whatnot. And so I was like, oh, I wasn't really expecting that time skip now. And so And also weirdly in the last episode she didn't appear at all. So he still mentions her a lot. So I went into the series expecting something that was sort of quiet, introspective, quiet drama sort of thing, and then it immediately hit me with upbeat jazz in the opening credits, and I was like, "This is not at all what I was sort of expecting." And it's a show with a lot of attitude. It's definitely got a ton of personality, and I'm both, as I said, I'm both really enjoying what we're getting right now. The characters are really interesting. There's also a third character, Sayuri, who is part of the art club with him, who has a little bit more of a realistic take. And she is sort of following him around. It's kind of clear that she has kind of a bit of a crush on him, but she's also sort of defeated because he is only looking at Aaron the whole time in the way that she's inspiring him. So feels like she's going to be something kind of like maybe like a tragic character or something, where like she sort of can't let him go and he can't see her. But I'm kind of purely guessing on this because I'm 3 episodes in and I'm really not sure where I'm going with it or where they're going with it. And that's kind of what's interesting to me about it. So many shows with so many of these shows that we see, because there's so much homogenization and whatnot of the genres. Like, a lot of times you kind of know within an episode or two what you're getting, and this is not one that I really know where it's going right now. So it's kind of intriguing, and I can see it being something that's just incredible, something truly amazing by the time we get to it. I can also see us getting to the end of it and going, what the fuck just happened here? What did I watch for the last 12 episodes? So yeah, I don't know. It's a really cool show. It's a really stylish show. And as I said, it has a lot more attitude than I was really expecting, which is a pleasant surprise. So yeah, I like it a lot so far. Ask me again in 9 episodes.
Yeah. It's one of those that it's like the whole point is like always keep them guessing. Never let them know your next move.
Yeah, pretty much. And I know last week the third episode, which was last week as we're recording this, I was a little put off by the time skip because I feel like there's a lot of really interesting stuff that it seemed like it was setting up, and we've just kind of skipped over it. Like at the end of the second episode, Koichi and Sayuri had just been accepted into art school, which came. He is. They both signed up for a local art workshop from a guy who knows Aaron. And again, like particularly with Koichi, the guy running the workshop had been kind of like, you're basically, the criticism of him is that he technically is a good drawer, but he doesn't see things well. Like he kind of can kind of recreate something, but he can't create something. Is kind of the impression that you get. And so like so it came as kind of a surprise that they both passed the exam to get into art school, and it was like, oh, okay, this will be interesting. We're now going to move into the college arc and see what happens here. And it's like, oh no, actually now it's 6 years later, and he's getting his first design job. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, and so this is actually a show that I'm reviewing weekly, and one of the things I kind of said about it is that it's just sort of you've got sort of an interesting kind of paradigm between the person who can't but is unmotivated to do it, and the person who can't but has all the motivation. And clearly at some point they need to try and get together and leech off of each other the other one does really well, but we'll see if that actually happens. It does feel like kind of the way he's talking, the way the narrator is talking, it feels like we're not headed to a happy place ultimately. But again, we'll see.
Yeah, anime that have to deal with art like this and Blue Period and things like that are always interesting because it's about, similar to what you were saying here, like being told that you don't have it or trying to figure out if you do have it to be an artist or a professional artist. And especially in this day and age, it's always weird to hear those things because it's like, well, who's telling you, like on what level can they tell you that you have it or not, considering you can become and make money as an artist drawing almost anything good or bad. So it's always interesting to see like what like perspective they're coming from on whether or not you are quote unquote good or what you can or can't do, and then how the characters perceive it and overcome it, either through becoming quote unquote good or just embracing the parts of their art that aren't good and then, you know, making something special out of it. In the end, it's always interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of part of sort of his. Again, I think part of the reason why people are sort of so down on him is that that's what he can't see is the stuff that makes it good or the stuff that doesn't make it good. He's just convinced that, well, if I work hard enough, then it's going to be good and I'm going to make it. And I have the drive for this and whatnot. And yeah, it's kind of like you said, it's sort of hard to quantify a lot of times, this sort of thing, even in a visual medium like this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because it's like we see what he's drawing, and he, you know, I have an art background to you know, to a certain degree, and you know, like I see what he's drawing, and I go, hey, that's pretty good. But it's also they're trying to tell us, oh, you know, again, his problem is that he can't really see things, and without actually being there, because this is just something on the screen, it's like, well, yeah, that I can't see what he's not seeing. If you're following what I'm saying, I don't even know if I'm following what I'm saying at this point, but
No, I think I do. It's generally like it's hard as a viewer sometimes to determine what that is because for us, it's like, I think that art is amazing. And then everyone in the show is like, no, it's actually shit. And it's like, well, what am I supposed to do with this?
It's kind of like the main conceit with AI too. It's like some people are like, it looks great. Oh, look at that. It's Pikachu with an assault rifle. It looks awesome. Like, well,
it's Pal World or whatever.
Yeah, literally.
does it look awesome though? That's
yeah.
So yeah, it's, you know, it's a show that at least to this point in the season, I would recommend it. It's definitely different. It's got a very different vibe than a lot of stuff that you see, which I always appreciate. You know, I mean, obviously, I clearly, you know, personally tend to gravitate towards rom-coms and, you know, and things like that, and but I always am very interested in stuff that gives us something very different than what we're used to, which is, you know, part of the reason why, and we talked about this last episode or a couple episodes ago when, you know, when we were talking about Journal with Witch from last season. You know, part of the besides it just being a great show, it was also something very different from what you usually get. And at least to this point with Aaron the Southpaw, I'm kind of getting that similar sort of feeling about it, that this isn't normal, for a lack of a better term, and that to me has been part of the intrigue to it as well. So you know, like I keep expecting, you know, as a longtime anime fan, as a longtime storytelling fan, you know, all I keep hearing is, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, and you know, and I keep expecting him, because he does nothing but persevere, there's going to be a certain magical something, and there's going to be that one person who sees something in him that that nobody else can see, that keeps pushing him and whatnot. And it's like, no, actually everybody just keeps telling him to give up. There isn't that one person, and him from the future narrating his story to us is kind of making it sound like he should have just given up. So it's as I said, I don't really know what we're going to get from it, and it gives it a very different kind of attitude, and that's something I can appreciate with it, even if it doesn't turn out to be as good as I might like it to be. I just like that I'm getting a different feeling from it.
Tim.
Thank you for educating us on some of the shows, even if our predictions about what they were about were only a little off.
A little. You had the you had the fact that, well, sort of had the fact that she's left-handed. So there you go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give us a couple here.
Yeah. And actually, the whole Southpaw bit, I'm not even sure why that is such a big deal at this point. Like, it's sort of been mentioned. Oh, she's a left-handed artist, and okay, so what? Like there's nothing that's been like, oh, because she's left-handed, it gives her an interesting the way she does her brush strokes or something is a little bit different than your average person, because she's brushing in a different direction or whatever. But I don't know. I really don't know what the whole thing behind that is, other than, yeah, she is left-handed, so
Just wait for
it's not
3
the
more
disadvantage.
episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the disadvantage it used to be, I would say.
Yeah, right.
I was
So
gonna say wait 3 episodes, and then it's gonna turn into a Shonen Jump, and she's gonna unlock the God Hand.
Oh yeah, there's a devil inside this left hand of mine. I can't control it anymore. It wants to make really shitty art.
maybe it'll be one of those things where because there was an implication in kind of like I guess a flash forward, like he's getting his ass kicked at one in like a flash forward by what looked like a mob person.
Whoa.
So maybe she gets her right hand broken by some mob guy, and and they're like, haha, she'll never paint again, and she's just like, oh yeah, watch this.
Boom, and then she paints something so good it blows their fucking heads off.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So because I'm actually left-handed as well, and back in my younger days when I used to play basketball, I wrecked everybody by going left all the time. They couldn't stop me going left. What they didn't know is that I couldn't go right at all. But because everybody goes right, they're just like, man, you are so good at going to your opposite hand. I'm like, yeah, that's totally what's going on here. Sure, why not?
Yeah, just please don't guard me over here, or I'm absolutely toast.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's keep the train rolling here, and we'll move into something that we've got a little bit as close to a full group watch as we're gonna have, and it's something that I know Kate was looking forward to for a while, and I know I've been reading the manga quite recently, getting caught up and things like that, and of course I'm talking about Witch Hat Atelier. So Kate, I want to hear what you think of the adaptation so far.
I am so relieved. I can't even begin to describe how relieved I am. This was one of those things where, for a good amount of time, it was being postponed and pushed back, and the people that were animating it were like, "Oh, I don't know about this," and then and it was only right before it was supposed to go to air, when they were like, "Oh, the whole thing is done and in the bag," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Thank God, okay, that's good." Because this is one of those manga series that I was in on like right day 0, like the advertisement that she was starting this thing, and there was like an illustration, announcing the serialization of this comic, and I was like, that looks awesome. I can't wait for this thing to begin. And then I had to wait for it, obviously, to get licensed in English, and all the time that was going by, and it ended up being amazing. So yes, I am a longtime fan of this property, and I am extremely happy with how this adaptation is being treated.
Yeah.
I was so worried.
It's always a relief when something you've really been killing for, or you've really been waiting for, and then it starts coming, and you're like, oh god, here's all the ways that you could destroy this. I hope this doesn't happen, and then it actually turns out okay.
Yeah, it's been like very well done so far. Like the art is really beautiful. I don't know if the mangaka has like any involvement in that, but like that interstitial art in the stuff like right at the end of episodes when like the book closes is always really, really beautiful and looks just like it came right out of the manga and stuff as well. So visually it's been really, really good. Everything looks very smooth, and the colors are bright, and the colors they chose for the characters are just about what I would expect or assume, not having paid too much attention to any color stuff that's in the mangas themselves.
That's what's really funny, because I know they've had color artwork of the girls before, and for some reason, reading the manga, my brain glossed over the fact that all the girls are like different color coded.
Yeah.
They have different color hair. They're like, the hair matches their eyes, and they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's kind of funny that they look like that, and now I have to deal with that on the daily every time there's an episode, because most of the time it's just black and white when you're reading the manga, and you're like, oh yeah, and then you see it like, oh yeah, I forgot Raicha's hair is like blue.
That happened to me. That happened to me with Akane Banashi, because her main boy rival has like, in the manga, it looks like he would have white or blonde hair, maybe, and then he's got bright ass pink hair, and I'm just like, okay, I have to just deal with this now.
The ones that always throw me are the ones that in the manga look like they'd have white or blonde hair, and then you see the anime or whatever, and they've got brown hair, and I'm like, come on, shading exists for a reason.
Yeah.
Coco did get kind of a weird hair color. I don't really mind it, but it reminds me of someone who has like blonde hair, but they just got out of a swimming pool.
Yeah, she's kind of got the I spent too long in a pool, too many summer days in a pool situation going on. She's got a slight green tint to her hair. She is that blonde. But that's how she was also portrayed in all the color art too. So, yeah, it's just how her hair looks.
I think it had a very, very strong like first episode. I was wondering how they were going to like really animate and handle the swift action part where Coco does the forbidden magic and everything, because to me, at least when I was watching, I was like, this is the moment where people who aren't aware of the manga are going to be kind of like drawn in. I thought like this is the big action sort of denouement of the first episode. Like everything has been building up and very quiet and it kind of whimsical and stuff, and then you get like this girl essentially kills her own mom, for better or for worse, and I was wondering if they were going to handle it in a way that made it more like actiony and exciting, but also with the gravity of what's going on, and not just like oh no. And I thought they handled that really well. I think the main thing that I guess I didn't appreciate as much in the manga, or maybe didn't notice it, and Emily and I were talking about this, is how like motherly Kifri is to everyone, and how it feels like the show does a lot of like flipping the scripts of like traditional gender roles in that way, because Kifri is always very gentle with the girls in the school. He stoops down to their level to talk to them when he wants to talk about something important, rather than lording above them or anything. He drops down to talk to them eye to eye, and he's very gentle. And there was a part of me that was a little concerned when we were watching. It was like, people aren't gonna like take this in a weird way, right? That
people are gonna take it in a weird way.
People take it in a weird way.
I did not I did not check on purpose because
The times we live in,
yeah, in my gut, I was like, people are gonna take this really weirdly, but it's just this is a guy that he's just playing. He's a motherly teacher, really gentle dude. So he's just taking that role, which is a really fun gender swap of how those character archetypes usually go. And I mean, as you go into the series more, he's gonna do more like actiony things too, if that's what you expect out of him. And you learn more about like his background and kind of why he is the way that he is and how he kind of developed this personality. But I found it really refreshing, though. Yeah, there was a part I was like, people are going to be weird about this, aren't they?
Yeah.
And if I have to be talking about some updates on Keyfree in our next news segment, I'm not going to be happy.
Oh no, he'll be in the news.
Keyfree is a good boy. That's okay. Dad will show up soon. So then the house dad is going to show up soon and be like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
I do like the way that they portray his, you know, like you said, very front facing, like motherly, but at the same time, anytime he's on his own or like talking to some of the other mages, it's like, oh, you're investigating that, and he's like, yeah, we gotta find him. And I'm just like, oh, there's some shit going on that we're not privy to yet. So I do like that double-sided thing going on to his personality.
Yeah, there's like he's got an angle to it, and it's not entirely clear in the show like what that, like you said, what that is, or if it's truly ominous or anything for the most part. But yeah, he's like, there is a motivation for him to be very gentle in teaching magic to all the girls, but especially Coco, because of what she potentially represents for him, that he has to be extra protective of her and make sure that nothing goes wrong, because she's the link to, you know, the bad guys.
She's the lead he needs.
Yeah, so she can't get scared off or hurt or anything, or that lead is gone, so he has to be even more so. It just, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, old Ruggiero showing up to be the dad of the house will be a welcome sight eventually, and I think he also just adds a good extra character dynamic to the, like, everyone's relationships as well, because he's one of my favorites, Brain, because he always acts very put upon all the time. He's constantly
overworked and underpaid, and he does not have time for your bullshit.
Yeah, the working man's mage.
Yep, that's exactly. He's a blue collar witch, is what he's got going on.
That's good. Yeah, I've really loved the show so far. I think the only thing that irked me a little bit was just it's obvious there's going to be some confrontation between Coco and Agat, just because of like the difference in background and, like, you know, the new kid on the block who just got a free pass compared to the one that's been training this whole time. I'm not huge on their dynamic, but I know that it's just like a natural, you know, butting of heads of two ideologies and types of people that will, you know, eventually get better. But yeah, I wasn't huge on it at first, but I think by episode 3, when she goes to do the test on her own, I was just like, okay, I love where this is going. And like that whole exam on like the little floating island things was like what really hooked me. I think the first episode was a great premiere, but like that third episode, I was like, okay, now I'm really in.
Yeah, the Dada range test. That's a really good one too, because it's the first time you see Coco kind of exploring what will eventually be like a major boon for her character. And Bran, are you caught up or pretty up to date past that?
I think that's the last episode I watched. I am not all the way caught up.
So then in the upcoming episodes, where the Dada range is a really, really good example of what is going to make Coco like really full of potential and talent, which is like she knows she's not good at drawing these things, but she absorbs the information to like draw that one line longer on purpose, even though it's considered like poor taste to do that at her level, it shows like a creativity and thinking outside the box that her lack of book learning is good for. Now, in the upcoming episodes, you'll see the opposite side of that at the same time, which I think is another really good character building part of it. You'll see kind of where her drawbacks are.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dada range is really good for that. Plus, you also get introduced to Brush Buddy, who's like the cutest thing ever. So
Yeah.
My boy. Best boy.
Emily told me that I need to be on the lookout for plushies immediately.
I'm gonna have my coworker.
Brushies.
My coworker crochets. So I'm gonna find a pattern online so she can.
Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna sell like hotcakes.
Yeah. I like Agate as a character, especially as the show goes on. And Bran, yeah, you're right. It gets better and things evolve and stuff, and then you get a lot of good stuff later on about like why she is the way she is, like period. But I think she also serves an important purpose in that she's the only one really giving pushback to Coco. So I think it would be a little one note if everyone was completely welcoming of her like right away without any hang-ups.
Yeah. No, that's fair, especially because like it's supposed to be such a, secret society that like, witches, the only difference is it's like a thin veil of like people knowing magic is real and not, or like who can use it. And the way that she just kind of was introduced into it and then immediately accepted into it, it is a little bit like I get why she's got to detract, that kind of person is going to make haters.
Yeah, and not to mention she's already in the public eye as like the reverse Harry Potter, where he was like the boy who lived. She's the girl who killed her mom.
The girl who killed.
So
yeah, it's everybody's looking at her like she's a loaded gun because she has not had training. She knows the secret. They're not doing what they do to everybody else who learns the secret that's not supposed to know the secret, which is immediately memory wipe them and send them back on their way.
Give them the Men in Black treatment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You knew nothing. You saw nothing. I saw nothing.
Yep. I also like that Agate is not outwardly hostile to Coco in a way that makes her like truly villainous. Like I think that's been handled really well too. Like she's just kind of cold and not really considerate of like Coco's feelings, but doesn't outright try to like or hurt her or sabotage her, just like neg on her constantly. She like, I think it's a refreshing way to handle that a little bit that you don't see all the time, where it's just like, this is the character that's the bully and they're just going to mercilessly bully Coco. It's like, no, she just at this point doesn't necessarily care if Coco lives or dies. And then
she's like, that's the magic world, baby. That's what happens.
Handles Coco as like an inconvenience in a way, which I think is in a way much more harsh than just outright antagonism. It's nope, you go into the Dada range, and if you fail, you'll never be a witch, or you could die. It doesn't matter. Like, whatever. See ya.
Yeah.
I love when she's all like, I did this on my own when I was 10. You should have no problem with it. If you have any kind of talent at all, see ya. And she knew what she was sending her into. Also, when you're a 10 girl, you're only like 12.
Back in my day.
Like you're 13 at most. That was like
Yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to how the show's going to keep building out this world of witches, and kind of how witches are all just sort of pseudo blue collar handy people in their own ways for like non-magic users and stuff. And I know we talked about this, especially Kate and myself on the show when we were just discussing the manga, but I think one of its really like strongest points is how it builds out this universe with all these characters from different backgrounds, different capabilities, skin colors, all that, and just intermingles them so well together that it feels very like seamless.
Yeah, like we barely touched the world building at this point in the anime, and there's a lot more coming up that's kind of like we've seen stuff, but it's been like ooh, look at this fancy city, ooh, look at that cool thing, ooh, look at that cool thing. But like we don't have a good grasp on how their world is arranged or set up or anything like that. we kind of saw the Witch City for a hot second at the end of one of the one of the episodes, but that's
Yeah, so it'll be I think it could be a really big strong point of the series, as well as how they handle all of this, because the cast of characters gets kind of large over time, and some are more bit players than others, but they serve like important pieces for like the little story arc that they're in this humongous world that they keep building out.
yeah. They go out of their way to show all of the various amazing ways that abuse of power can be for witches, including an incident with where everybody's putting bad aspirations on my boy Kiefer, and he is not the perv. We meet the pervs later, and they get dealt with in a way that most anime and manga do not deal with the pervs. Which is in a realistic fashion.
We love that.
So, yeah, people are not used to that in shows.
It's also worth pointing out the soundtrack being handled by the main From Software composer. I think is awesome. Yuka Kitamura. She's made most of them. So she did Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Sekiro. So there's definitely a pedigree for the fantasy stuff. So I think that's a really keen choice for the soundtrack for here.
Has anybody besides me watched the most recent episode that just came out today?
I did not, in solidarity with Kestrel.
Okay. The soundtrack really, really shines in this most recent episode. Really.
Nice.
And it's usually the last thing I notice is what the soundtrack is doing in most things. I don't know. It's just me. I'm like, and even this episode, I was like, holy shit. It's really, really strong in this episode that aired today.
Nice. I'll have to get caught up.
Everything was very strong in this episode that aired today. So if you haven't watched it, get to your homework assignment, everybody.
Hey, I'm always caught up, but we just had to record on Monday right when I get done work.
I know.
Yeah, I had no time. I was like, I'm gonna watch 2 or 3 episodes right before we start. I had no time for that.
Y'all in for a treat. So
nice.
Yeah, definitely enjoying it so far. I have no experience with the franchise at all, except I have similarly been hearing about how good it's been since the manga has started, basically. So yeah, really glad to see that it has such a strong production, that they have it all finished for this season, at least. And yeah, it's beautiful, it's joyous, it's a really interesting magic system. Let's see, the Dada range, I was disappointed it was not in Dada art style.
Yeah.
No.
Spelled slightly differently, but
yeah, whatever.
That's how they
And I think the only other thing I have to say is I've only had Brush Buddy for a day and a half, but if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they made Brush Buddy way more talkative in the anime too. He squeaks way more. In the manga, he's just kind of in panels.
Yeah, he makes wee noises occasionally, or whatever that sound effect is supposed to translate to. But yeah, that's just everything, animated. You're gonna get all of the weird sound effects you don't think about.
Mm-hmm.
The whatever noises Brush Buddy is making. Yeah, because if Brush Buddy couldn't have already been the cutest goddamn thing ever, they made the little noises it makes is
yeah, that definitely it does a lot of lifting, the noises.
Mm-hmm. And he moves like a slinky.
Oh, the one thing that the anime didn't have, Bran, and I think we talked about it in the chat a little bit, is unless it happens in the newest episode, they don't go over the black hole toilet.
No, they don't. They skip the void toilet.
Yeah, there's a void toilet.
It was one of my favorite jokes too.
How could they skip something like that?
It felt like such a slap in the face of a certain shitty British author. Yeah, it was just like magical. Look at all these cool magic devices we have. We got this thing that makes water. We've all these lights that do this, that, and the other thing. And then it's like in the bathroom there's a toilet, and the toilet empties directly into the void of space.
Damn.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity for me putting the void toilet with Toho logo in it for the thumbnail.
I mean, he's still good.
Just rip it from the manga.
I can get you that panel from the manga.
Yeah, that is not an issue. But yeah, that's the one thing that they missed in that introductory episode of the Atelier, and yeah, all the stuff that happens there. And I'm just like, they forgot the space shitter.
And the best part is when and then that means they didn't get the follow up to that joke, which was when Agate's telling Coco, yeah, you can take any 3 magical tools with you that are in the Atelier, and she's like, can I take the void toilet? She's like, no, you can't take the void toilet. That's locked down to that location. It gets very bad if you try to move it. It's like, oh god, what happens if you try to move the void toilet?
Yeah, they never explain what happens if you do anything to the void toilet. So.
I feel like I'd expect to see the void toilet in like Dorohedoro or Maiden Abyss or something.
Uh-huh.
Sure.
Yeah, it feels like something that would exist in Dorohedoro.
Yeah, I'm glad it's as good as it has been, and that you guys are liking it as folks who didn't read the manga, so you just got the hype from it. So I'm glad to see that it is delivering, and there's so much more like good shit going, especially when they finally start delving into like the brimmed hats a little bit more, and you start getting sort of like the main universe's conflict, and not just like Coco's story. You start seeing a lot of like what makes the world tick and all of the problems that still exist, and people have it. Some of them could be fixed by magic, but for nebulous reasons are chosen not to, and et cetera, et cetera. It's very, very good.
Yeah, we get into that good politic and ethical shit that most of the series is running off of.
You also get some body horror eventually too.
Oh my god, the body horror!
Yeah,
the
so you get some.
Still has probably one of the
We
scariest creature monsters of anything I've ever read in anything. It's just like it's a no good, very bad thing, and I don't like it.
Yeah, so that's not for a little while yet, but
that's for a long time. When they get to that point, that's going to require a whole 26 episodes for that story arc. That's a long arc.
Mm-hmm.
Silver Reeve arc takes forever.
Yeah. So, anything else for Witch Hat for anyone before we shift?
No.
Okay, cool beans. Cool beans. I want to talk about, because I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but I'll watch the rest of them, so I don't really care if there are any minor spoilers thus far. But I want to talk about the anime that I can only describe as the logical version of M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. And that is Daemons of the shadow realm.
Daemon.
It's just demons.
Yeah, demons of the shadow realm, from the creator of everyone's favorite Fullmetal Alchemist manga, and you can tell by looking at it in a lot of ways. But 2 episodes in, really, really good. Was not expecting the fucking clandestine execution force. So
yeah, I honestly was also like very taken aback, just because like I heard about this when it was first getting the manga, and the hype around, of course, like, oh, she's finally making another series. Didn't really hear much after the fact, but only seeing like the cover art of the first volume and like the name of it, I'm like, oh, cool, we're doing like a this like olden era Japan kind of stuff, and it felt like that for the first half of the first episode. And then all of a sudden, the attack choppers and SWAT team roll, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening?
I mean, one of the first scenes, they'll see the dragon gas, so you're like, I think I know what that is. I don't think that's dragon.
No.
Yeah. It reminded me of a Conan O'Brien sketch where he plays Civil War era baseball. This is a long time ago, and a plane flies overhead in the middle of filming, and he points up and he goes like, "What witchcraft is this?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, my experience was exactly the same as you, Bran. And I think it's by design, because when they showed off like the trailer, I feel like they were very careful to cut only the in village, no invaders kind of shots, so that it appeared to be that as much as it could. So yeah, I was also taken aback, and I feel like that's probably the point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's Bones coming back to an Arakawa adaptation, so they're definitely leaning in on the Full Metal Alchemist connections. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Definitely not what I expected. I'm intrigued. It's definitely very well produced. We'll see where it goes. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we're in this because it's the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. It got the adaptation quality it did because it's the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. I don't necessarily expect it to live up to that level. But yeah, we'll see if it turns into something interesting.
Yeah, I feel like this is one where you do gotta let her cook a little bit. Like the initial premise is like interesting, and then it almost immediately settles in a bit of like, okay, we gotta like get our bearings. We gotta explain to him like what the real world is. Like, I love the like the left and the right, their interactions with the modern human world as well, when they're like on the car and they're like, where do they put the horses in this machine or in this like contraption? Stuff like that I love. And then Yuru like learning how to like use the bathroom is like, it's charming. But I definitely
he just needs a void toilet, really.
No, exactly. But no, I think
like
this is one we need to let her cook.
Yeah, I did like that was the explanation that worked when they were trying to do how is a car, and then she just went, they shoved a lot of horses in here and it goes fast, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I like how she knows exactly how to communicate things to them.
Yeah, same with the cell phone. He's like, it's like a smoke signal. And they're like, yes, a smoke signal. And they're like, wow, these guys are rubes.
Yeah, of course. I knew it the whole time.
Yeah, no, it definitely started with the big twist, and then they're like, all right, we've built up enough goodwill with Full Metal Alchemist. You'll let me spend a few episodes taking my time to plan this out and wait until you get something good.
Yeah. And there is definitely still a lot of like, who is the quote unquote good guy?
Yeah, for
it
sure.
seems like both sides have some kind of big objective with these, like, the only every 400 years twins like this and then the world ends, and it's like, okay, so we still have to find out what all that means.
Right, we got the initial twist, but that just brought more questions than answers. There's still a lot of ambiguity, both plot wise and morally. So
yeah.
Well, what they call them, demon containers or captors, something like that. Like the group of supposed good guys.
Good.
I can't remember.
Or something.
Yeah, they called it. It distinctly wasn't hunters, and I could only assume it was because they don't want you to draw that conclusion right away. So
yeah,
I like the point that was made about the dynamic between the left and the right, and I think that'll be I think an interesting and fun relationship that builds up, because for being these demons that 2 episodes in, I'm assuming are moderately strong, but not like legendarily at this point, because already they found like one of them that is like a true god, and they the left and right were just like gods of this little village area. So I imagine they're like a moderate strength, but it kind of, and how they talk to not only each other but the humans that can see them, like not as equals necessarily, but also not as like pompous god figures and things like that, which makes the dynamic really interesting because it's not as one dimensional as they easily could have made it. So I look forward
and their
to
relationship with Yuru as well, because he's always kind of worshipped them as the protectors of the village, and now he's their boss, and so he's like kind of weirded out by that.
Yeah, well, I like how he wasn't afraid to like utilize them in a pretty brutal way right off the bat. To be honest, too, he was just like, "Oh, you guys are my like subordinates now. Well, let's go kill this girl." and then,
he's like, "No, she's mine."
Yeah,
that was great.
Crack open the mouth of that demon so I can shoot her with arrows until she's dead. Like he didn't even bother to try to like just have them do it while he sat back. He's like, "Nah, I want to be a part of it." So it was cool to see him like take the reins that quickly and not be like flabbergasted by the whole thing while the gods like act all put upon and then do stuff for him or whatever. He just kind of takes to it right away of like, "Oh, okay, that's how we're gonna roll now," and then they just go.
Yeah,
so
it's also
I think that's gonna help kind of build their relationship early because I think is it right? Is the
dude,
yeah, the dude showing, and left is the lady showing one presenting. That's what I was looking for because they're gods, so they don't really have gender binary things going on. But he said like, "Oh, he's a kid, so he'll be easy to like boss around," and it's like, no, he won't be. Like, and I think that fosters like some maybe like base respect, kind of like he's not just gonna be a pushover. So I think that's cool as well.
Yeah, also, I guess just because of his character design, all I had seen of the series before was the protagonist character design, and he's kind of got Riza Hawkeye hair, so I was very surprised when he was male. Yeah.
Hey, he's still got that accuracy though.
That's true.
He's still got his shooters with him.
Yeah, you're Hawkeye. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then there's a girl literally with like the Edward Elric like red cloak on too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, with whose power is kind of the gate of truth.
Yeah. I mean, milk it, girl. I get it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, if it works. Yeah, I was surprised by just how brutal it was right out of the gate, especially with characters who, within the same episode, we're supposed to like empathize with. We're like, oh, these guys just massacred this whole village, and maybe they're the good guys? I don't know.
Yeah, and like that little girl with her mom got eaten up right in front of her. I was like, oh wow, yeah, we're going there right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the beginning of like Gare Zero, where there's like, here's all these characters and all these people, like get used to them, and they're gone, and then that's it, and they're gone.
Yeah, and it is nice though that Yuru like very much in a situation where his life got turned upside down, but it's not one of those instances where he's going to take half the season to get his shit together. He's like, okay, I understand there's some stuff going on and my sister's not real, but I still want to hear it from her myself.
I feel like he adjusts a little too quickly, honestly. Like, this is a pretty life-changing event in like 100 different ways.
Yeah, that's fair. I think he just trusts Dara that much. He's like, no, he knows what he's doing.
My entire village just got massacred before my eyes. My sister is fake. My whole worldview is fake. There's a whole futuristic world outside of the barrier of my village. Maybe the people who killed all my friends are the good guys. One of them is my real sister, apparently. He's just kind of cool with all that. Also, the guardian deities are my familiars now.
Also, they put how many horses in this steel box?
Right, yeah.
What is plumbing?
What is plumbing?
I like that his culture shock is just kind of played for laughs when he comes across something new and foreign, new and alien in this world, rather than it being like, oh no, I have to have a 5-episode training arc to get myself adjusted. But I think he maybe adjusted a little too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Really?
Wait until he finds out about DoorDash.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I think that's a good point about his adjustment. Because even, like 2 episodes in, he's sitting in the car and he's not even thinking about like what just happened. He's like, all right, so what do we do next? I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
either he's adjusted way too quickly or he's already compartmentalized this and we're in a very bad spot.
Yeah, it's just that traumatic. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like if anyone's seen the anime School Live, it's a zombie apocalypse anime. I guess spoiler for the first episode, and the protagonist just sees it as like this light, fluffy, happy world of her school life. Yeah. So maybe Yuru is just like imagining a completely different world than what's actually playing out in front of him because he was just that traumatized. Actually, here's a thought on the subject of Aaron the Southpaw being Attack on Titan spinoff. Maybe he's imagining a comfy camping adventure called Yuru Camp.
Whoa.
Whoa. Damn, it was a dream all along. Incredible. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm glad I picked it up just, for exactly like, oh, this is the Full Metal Alchemist, mangaka, so it can't be awful.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah, and it is the first time that it's like really checked all the boxes again for her, because Silver Spoon was great, but very different kind of story. She contributed to a thing called Hero Tales, but it was like a collective with a bunch of different artists. She did her own adaptation of Arslan, but that was the Legend of Galactic Heroes creator originally made that story, and Yoshitaka Amano originally did the art. So this is the first time that she's like really returned to fantasy with her own solo effort, so it makes sense that Bones is back for it and everything.
Alrighty, well, we're starting to get close to our usual limit here, so now is the time where we generally pass it on to anyone who wants to talk about anything that they're watching in particular, because we basically covered a couple unique ones, as well as the ones that we have the most shared between us with Demons of the Shadow Realm and Witch Hat, and talked a little bit about Akane and One Piece and stuff, but there are a few others out there. So, Kate, what trash are you watching?
I only checked out the first couple episodes of both of those series, and let me grab the actual titles of these things here. Just like, I don't know, that trash, and then the other trash.
Kate's already living that 30 season lifestyle.
I was doing a lot of model painting for a friend over the weekend or whatever, and I needed stuff to put on in the background so I could just space. I was putting on stuff that I knew had English dubs. I looked at the first episode of An Observation Log of My Fiancée Who Calls Herself a Villainess. It's reincarnation isekai. It's vaguely European looking, fake country bullshit. Girls reborn as a noble girl. Girl from our world who is really into otome games gets sucked into her otome game and is reborn as the villainess.
What?
Shocking. So original. Not worth dealing with. Anyway, So that's a pass. And then the other thing I checked out was slightly more interesting, but still red flags for all sorts of other reasons. And that was the Warrior Princess and the Barbaric King, which is another, which is a story about a princess knight who is going to war with this barbarian nation to the east. And oh no, maybe her country were the assholes.
Are
And
we the baddies?
she might been with the baddies, because at first I'm like, I don't know, her men seem to respect her, and it all seems to be like, okay, that's cool, their country has female knights, whatever. No, then you meet her brother, and he's all like, the fuck are you doing? You should be married by now. It's like, you should not be out there fighting. What the hell are you doing? Know your place, woman, basically. And then, she loses in battle to this dude who looks like he's 40, 50, 45, 50 years old. But I think he's actually like younger than she is. But he has got white hair and a beard. He's like built like a bear. So she's all like, "Oh no!" And she's kind of a total ditz, like not like a ditz, but like she's like she gets taken captured. She's like, "Oh no, they're gonna torture me," instead of thinking the obvious thing, which is like, I'm being sold as a sex slave, which for some reason does not cross her mind immediately. And then the guy's like, "I'm gonna marry you, make you my wife because you're a brave, strong warrior lady," and she's like, "The fuck is going on?" And yeah, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I can handle." Because at first we don't know that her country is just typical like Eurotrash fantasy country where women are supposed to like be prim and proper and shit. Uh, and so first I'm like, oh, maybe her country is like just like that's just how it is, and that's why she's not thinking about like rape or the obvious things. It's like, no, she's just dumb. I think she's just dumb and overreacting and sheltered. And yeah, and the Barbarian King is equally kind of a himbo. So himbo and himbo, and they hit things real good with swords and like meat. And she ends up in the barbaric East, which is actually way better than her shitty country. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle the stupidity of the leads. Yeah. That's trash I checked out that I'm not actually watching. I'm only watching currently at the moment, Witch Hat and Slime. The Slime's back. Slime is Slime.
And
Slime
not AI.
Not AI. Not AI Slime. It looks better than the last season, which is good.
Yeah.
That's Slime.
Any shows that you guys want to talk about real quick? Kestrel in your semi-retired, not retired state.
I mean, I feel like Bram probably wants to say something about Nippon Son Goku.
I'll just say that the premiere episode was really captivating, and it does fall in line with, similarly to earlier, talking about just like very unique types of shows. Yeah, I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but it is, in my opinion, like a very unique and interesting show, and it's I had no idea what to expect from it, and it feels like way out of left field for me. So like I'm completely entranced by it, and it's beautiful, and it's funny and witty. So yeah, I'm loving it so far. Lots of great shows this season, but that one I think for me stuck out the most. But yeah, looking forward to talking to it a lot more on our next update or even season end, because I'll hopefully be more caught up on it.
That's pretty brand core show.
Yeah. The only other thing I wanted to say is that it's a bummer that it took so long for Dorohedoro to come back, but goddamn, was it worth the wait? Because it looks so good. Like I think just in general, the CG of the characters has been like insanely better looking. I mean, half the shots you can't even really tell that they're 3D models.
Yeah, it's true.
So I will say though, I for the life of me was so confused for the first couple episodes trying to remember what the hell was happening.
Yeah, same.
But still, awesome show. So I'm looking forward to remembering how that whole plot's going. So
gotta go and watch that. I really love the manga, and I have read all of that. I own all the volumes of that.
Nice.
You know, one thing I could say about Viz, at least they're keeping that in print. It seems like every store I go into or any shop that sells books always has 1 million copies of that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that one's not hard to find at this point. I've been slowly collecting it for a couple years, and I am surprised that I still get enticed to grab another volume anytime I'm at like Kinokuniya.
Yeah, it's like I went into a relatively newish Barnes and Noble, and they had like a whole bunch of volumes of it. I was like, this is the one thing they will keep in print. And I think it's because it was like such a crossover hit with like the comic book industry that they just it broke containment, so they always make sure they have some copies of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Nippon Sangoku, definitely the most unique thing I'm watching by far. I am reviewing that every week.
Nice.
Yeah, Chris reviewed the first episode, which was by far the best. So, bummer. I get the kind of mediocre follow-ups. But, yeah, definitely interested to see where it goes. It's definitely visually and directorially compelling at every moment. And just very unique characterization. Kevin Penkin music. Yeah.
I did not realize he was on the track.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, very, very unique story. And yeah, I'm interested to see where the story goes in terms of the different political dynamics between the warring nations and their respective kind of protagonists in each of them. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Righty. Anything else, or shall we move into any recommendations?
I'll just mention my actual favorite show so far this season. That's been, I was looking forward to it, but it's even been a surprise as to how much I've been enjoying it. Is The Ramparts of Ice, which is on Netflix.
We have to all decide what this is about. I think it's a medieval You're on Ice spinoff. That's my guess.
Okay. That actually sounds like could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say some kind of Game of Thrones-esque like ripoff.
Yeah. I can see that. The North.
I think it's about people in frog outfits dancing in front of ice facilities.
Nice. That's a good one.
Brilliant.
I think it's a slice of life show about girls making a crochet club, and the title actually has nothing to do with it at all.
Well, you're sort of closest by saying slice of life.
It's a win.
but although I it's not even really slice of life, but that's kind of the closest. It's a dramedy, I would say. It definitely leans more into the drama, but the Ramparts of Ice actually does come into play. It's a high school drama, and it's about a girl who has bullying trauma in her past. In middle school, in particular, she was the subject of quite a bit of bullying, and she's gotten to a point where she can't really deal with people, particularly people who are sort of joking around. Like it tends to make her freeze up, she doesn't know how to kind of have fun with people, sort of essentially. It's by the same mangaka that did You and I Are Polar Opposites, which the first season was last season, which was really all I knew about it coming into it. And You and I Are Polar Opposites was kind of like a big surprise to me last season. Not that I didn't expect to enjoy it, but I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was. So I was like, oh, cool, another show by the same person. And it's got a very different tone to You and I Are Polar Opposites, or at least it's got a very different tone to the first half of You and I Are Polar Opposites. The second season, which will be next season, we'll get into a little bit more serious stuff, although it's still much more lighthearted than the Ramparts of Ice have been. But anyway, the Ramparts of Ice, the title actually refers to, there's this really cool visual effect that happens that anytime she starts kind of spiraling and shutting down, you actually see her psychologically erecting walls of ice between her and the people around her to kind of protect her. And she sort of always walks around with kind of this expression on her face that makes her look mean. And so people call her the Ice Queen and whatnot. And it's, one of the things that sort of really surprised me about it is that it's been very realistic kind of in its portrayal of her anxieties and the difficulties that she has in dealing with other people, and it's really playing tone very, very well. Like the last episode was very much a lighthearted episode through much of it, and it's almost kind of like a feel good episode for about like the first, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 minutes, and then there's like this moment of all of a sudden drama where she just completely drops out of everything, and it was like so perfectly weighted that like the rest of that episode was just like one big gut punch after another. And it's just been really, really good so far. There's been 4 episodes to this point, and I've really been enjoying it a lot. And it's somewhere between a feel good show and a really serious drama, which is kind of weird to say. But and one of the things, if you like, You and I Are Polar Opposites. She's got a very similar sort of character design to Suzuki, the main character of that, where she's got very unique eyes. And they're very, very expressive in this, and they do visually, with her eyes and with her expressions, they do a lot of really amazing stuff that kind of helps the drama in it and whatnot. And it's been an amazing show so far. I've really, really enjoyed it. So that's my little one-off. Also my recommendation. So there you go. It can be both.
Nice. 2 birds, 1 stone.
2 birds, 1 stone. And because it's on, I don't know if this is because it's on Netflix, but it actually has a simul dub. So if you're interested in dubs, it's a show that gets one. So there you go.
Alrighty. Well, as good of a segue as any into the recommendations. Bran, do you have any, anime or otherwise?
Not really, besides watch all the shit we talked about.
Nice. A cop-out, but nice.
That's what I got.
Acceptable. Kestrel, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the release schedule, and yeah, they don't really release anime anymore. It's a bummer. So, not too much of that. But
Make sure you get it in now before the whole industry dies out.
Yeah, right. No, the only physical media that exists is slabbed Shonen Jumps from
No.
the 90s or the 80s. Or actually reprints of them that anyone can buy at any time. Yeah, I think my only recommendations then, one anime adjacent at least, is the Chainsaw Man movie 1, the Chainsaw Man movie is coming to Crunchyroll soon, so if you've not seen it yet, you'll be able to stream it soon. And 2, the vinyls of the soundtrack is available for pre-order on all your favorite retailers. Crunchyroll does have an exclusive variant. The rest of them have the same as each other. So if you want to enjoy your pool bops with maximum, I don't know, oral grain, then there you go. And for some non-anime stuff, let's see. For movies, you should be able to see I Swear in American theaters now. Very good film. I would recommend that. And if you are into Star Wars at all, the new Star Wars series, Maul Shadow Lord, has been very good so far. And it seems like you would need to have a lot of background. But in reality, Maul is like the only existing character that has even shown up at all so far. So you could probably just start it with the knowledge that somehow Maul returned. Yeah.
All right, Kate, you normally have a video game or two. Anything this time around?
Yeah, some video games. Titanium Court is a 8-bit acid trip fest match 3 Shakespearean situation tower defense. I don't know thing. That's up on Steam for many platforms. And Vampire Crawlers, the card-based spin-off of Vampire Survivors, is also. Do you want all of the achievements and trophies? That is a good game for that.
That one looks fun.
I played for about 2 hours, and I have like some absurd number of like achievements for like 62 or something. I don't even know. Yeah, that's the same kind of crack as the other as Vampire Survivors was. So, yeah, there's a lot of good games out there.
Yeah, you hit one of the ones I was going to, but if you're into like deck builders, you're eating good right now, because between Vampire Crawlers, which is on the simpler side but still a lot of fun, and Slay the Spire 2 that came out a little bit ago, things are looking powerful good for you as a roguelite deck builder type person. Because that's what I've been really playing.
Slay the Spire 2 is still in early access, to be fair.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those where it's like I've had it for a while and it feels like such a polished product that the main thing they're doing now is just tweaking fights and stuff and like balance.
The art, balancing, changing, adding more. They're still adding stuff, but yeah, there's a lot of balancing and art finishing and stuff like that.
But it isn't like you're playing a game and then it's just going to crash, or there's like stuff that you just can't do because it's like, well, we forgot to put that part in. Like you can unlock all the play modes and play with all the base characters and stuff like that. So I guess, yeah, I forgot it was in early access still. And I was like, oh yeah, this is a finished game. I would believe this is a finished game. So yeah, that's very good. As well as a game called that's not a deck builder, but the other one I was going to say that I started playing recently is called Replaced, which is a really, really good like side-scrolling kind of like action adventure that has like really high-def pixel models and things in a very interesting like lighting system for all the pixel atmosphere. So it's very moody. It's a cyberpunk story about a guy who works with an AI. His name is Warren, and at the like company building that he works at, there's like a power surge or an attack or something, in the AI that's named Reach fuses with his brain and takes over his body essentially. So the game is about you trying to figure out how to separate Warren from Reach. But Reach is the one that has like full consciousness, but he still talks to the body as if it belongs to Warren. So he's like, how's it going, Warren? And there's obviously no one there. But it's really, really like well made and looks incredible, especially for its like really high def 3D like pixel art. It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
but,
it's got a look kind of
yeah.
voxely. It's probably 3D, but made to look 2D situation going on. Yeah.
But it's really good. So those are going to be my recommendations as well.
Well, after almost a year, I've finally finished playing Persona 5, so I'm free from the shackles of that game. So I'm excited to play some like smaller, shorter games in the future.
Yeah, those are. I would love to play them, but they're just so daunting because of that. Like, oh, it's 110 hours just for like the base story. I hope you don't get caught up doing literally anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm basically done with Persona games at this point because I never finish them. Never finished 2, never finished 3, never finished 4, never finished 5. I'm like, I should probably stop buying these because I never finish them.
Just watch the Persona 4 anime. It's awesome. And then you don't need to play the game.
Fair.
Watch
True.
the anime and then play like one battle or something in the game, so then you can talk about the quote unquote combat system.
There you go.
Boom. You can make it through most any conversation about it then. Alrighty, folks. I think it's time we wrap it up for the evening. So, Castro, as usual, why don't you tell us where anyone can find you or where they can find us?
Find Fandom Post Radio anywhere you find podcasts. Please subscribe, rate, and review. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube Music, and the rest. You can find us at fandompost.com. You can find us on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Blue Sky at Fandom Post Radio. Please follow us, share our stuff, and get in contact with us. You can also get in contact with us via email, fandompostradio@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter at FullMetalKioma and on Blue Sky at kestrelswift.bsky.social. And you can find me, as I mentioned, I'm reviewing Nippon Son Goku on the Fandom Post. And you can also find my article about Yoko Kanno at Anime Boston, which includes my rundown of maybe the first Seatbelts performance in North America, as well as my interview with her as part of maybe her first press conference anywhere in the world ever. So check that out.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah.
So they say.
Oh, cool.
You can find me at Hellshake Brando. Am I saying anything related to anime on there? Sometimes. Sometimes.
Offering Logan Paul the deal of a lifetime.
I really did. It still stands. 1 million could be yours.
Mark, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky at MD Thomas, though I almost only ever post for my reviews, because you can also find me on Fandom Post, where this season I am reviewing Ramparts on Ice, I am reviewing Aaron the Southpaw, and I am reviewing I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in Class. So there you go.
You can find me on Blue Sky at Sonic Bug, and all of my reviews are on thefanpost.com. I am also other places on the internet. You can track me down. If you follow me on Blue Sky, I occasionally put pictures up of my cat.
The most important part.
I mean, nobody wants to see me. I just put the cat up there.
Yeah, that's very true. It's all if you have a cat, just put that on your social media, and you will become very successful.
Well,
it's just about the best use of social media.
Yeah. The internet used to be made of cats. Now it's made of scams.
Yep.
Uh,
All right, and as always, you can find me right here. So, as usual, thanks everyone for listening. Hope you're enjoying your seasons. There's certainly a good variety out there between Akane Banashi, Witch Hat, Atelier, Demons of the Shadow Realm. There's a little bit of everything for everyone this time around. So hopefully you found your go-to show for the season or couple. and enjoy them. But until then, we will talk to you later and enjoy the season.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.